I would like to talk about connecting with your scene partner. Do you find it challenging as an actor to create a living, breathing connection with your scene partner? In this video, I will break down some of the most common reasons actors fail to connect and how to correct them in a practical, repeatable way. There's a particular kind of frustration that actors know so well. You're prepared, you did your homework, you understand the scene, and yet something just isn't clicking with your scene partner. The interaction feels empty, mechanical, disconnected. No matter how hard you try, the interaction lacks life. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. More importantly, it can be attended to. Connection in acting is built or broken by a specific relationship to the craft. Let's break it down. Number one, you're waiting your turn instead of listening. Here's what the problem is. You're focused on your next line, how you're going to say it, anticipating how it will land, or you're just hoping you don't forget the line. Meanwhile, while your partner is talking, you're not truly hearing them. You're just in a holding pattern. So why does this break the connection? Acting comes alive in the human energy between people. If you're not giving or receiving anything, there's nothing to respond to. The scene then becomes about two actors living in their separate worlds. So here's the fix. Live in the unknown. Trust that the line will be there. Remain open to new things. Open yourself up to other things that you can learn about the scene, as well as other things you can learn about your character. Try this. Before responding, rather than think about what your next line is, silently take a minute and ask yourself, what did they just do to me? Let the response come alive inside of you before you go to your lines. And this can be difficult, but try it. Allow for unpredictability in your delivery. When you live in the unknown and genuinely listen, your performance naturally finds freedom, variety, and life. Legendary actor Ed Harris has a reputation on set for always offering a completely different energy in every take. No take is ever the same, even though he remains completely responsible to continuity on the set. His relationship with his craft is so potent that the lines are only a small part of a much larger commitment, the living, breathing circumstances of the character. Number two, you've pre-planned your performance. Here's the problem. It's great to make strong choices, but if you've locked them in, you cut yourself off from working organically. If every pause, every tone, every reaction is predetermined, you'll never be available to your partner. So here's why this breaks the connection. If your reactions are fixed, your partner has no influence over you. The interaction becomes rigid and planned, even if you felt that your choices were strong. It's important to make strong choices, and script analysis is the most valuable tool in terms of helping the actor explore the possibilities in the material. But there's a point in your script analysis and your choice making that you still have to then let go and trust that whatever discoveries that you made and choices that you thought about, that they're going to be there for you. They're going to serve you when the time comes to rehearse and perform the scene. So the fix for this problem is to let go of the need to control the results, but instead trust the homework that you did and just open yourself to live truthfully in the circumstances. If you did good homework and it's going to be there to serve you, trust that things will come out on their own. So instead of saying to yourself, I'm going to get really angry on this line, try this instead. I'm trying to make them understand me, and if they resist, I really don't know what I'm going to do. Focus on your character's intention, not the results. Then open yourself up to your partner and let the energy that passes between you determine how things unfold. The late, great James Dean was one of the freest, most spontaneous actors of all time. Just carve out a moment to watch him in his scenes with Julie Harris in East of Eden, and you're going to see two masterful, generous actors at work, listening taking each other in, and discovering the scene right in front of us. Number 3, you're too focused on yourself. Here's how the problem shows up. You're monitoring your work, you're monitoring how you look, how you sound, you're worried about whether or not you're doing well, you're becoming self-conscious. Why does this break the connection? Well, self-consciousness pulls you out of the moment. You can't fully engage with another person if you're watching yourself from the outside. Here's the fix. Put your attention entirely on your partner. Lock yourself into their eyes, their tone of voice, their behavior. If you're truly focused on them, you won't have any room to scrutinize yourself, and the connection with your partner will materialize. Number 4, you're not pursuing anything. Here's the problem. You understand the idea of the scene, but you have not yet brought the circumstances alive enough to the point where you are actively trying to get something from your partner. Why does this break the connection? Well, connection is not a passive thing. In drama, it is driven by need. Without understanding what your character needs and then locking into a clear objective, there's really no reason for the scene to exist. So here's the fix. Determine what your character needs, and the objective will follow. So instead of saying, I'm sad, it's more effective to say something like, I need them to forgive me. Instead of saying, I'm angry, here's a better way to put it. I need them to admit that they're wrong. So once you have that, you then pursue it like your life depends on it. When you need something from your partner, you automatically engage with them. Number 5, you're not allowing yourself to be affected. Here's the problem. Even when your partner gives you something unexpected, you stay on your original track. Why does this break the connection? Well, real connection requires vulnerability. If nothing they do can change you, the scene feels flat and artificial. Here's the fix. Commit to emotional flexibility. While you're in rehearsal or even in performance, ask yourself, am I really allowing this to land? As well as, what changed inside of me because of that line? And then give yourself permission to shift the tone, to change the pace, and to explore where the new energy is taking you. One of the most exciting things that an actor can give themselves over to is the willingness to be derailed. Number 6, you haven't built trust. Here's how the problem shows up. There's hesitation, the fear of looking bad, the fear of going too far, doing too much, the fear that your partner won't support you. And so why does this break the connection? Without trust, actors are going to hold back. And held back performances don't transcend. Here's the fix. Take action on your own or with your partner. Before or during rehearsal, fully take in your partner. Notice their physicality. Feel their energy. Explore them through your character's eyes. And if it serves you and your partner agrees, you can do repetition or mirroring exercises, or talk about the history of your character's relationship with your partner. Connection strengthens when both actors feel safe to take risks. Number 7, you're treating the scene like a performance, not an event. Here's how the problem shows up. You're showing the scene instead of living the scene. So why does this break the connection? An audience can tell when something is being presented rather than experienced. And so can your scene partner. Here's the fix. Reframe your mindset about the scene. Don't worry about, I just want to do the scene well. But instead, through your character, tell yourself, I need to deal with getting what I want from this person right now. This will help you not worry about your performance or about the audience, and allow you to think more about the person that's right in front of you in the scene. I'd like to talk a little bit about generosity as an actor. When you allow yourself to need something and are truly affected by the other actor, not only are you serving the material better, but you're also being a generous actor. Being a generous actor means being vulnerable with your scene partner. and giving that over to the work that you do on the scene. If you put yourself on the line emotionally, your partner, any good actor, will step up and be right there with you, because every good actor knows it's going to make the scene better. The great Robin Williams, may he rest in peace, had a reputation on set for being an unbelievably generous actor. He always stayed late after finishing his coverage so that he could be present for his scene partners in their coverage off camera. Believe it or not all actors are that generous. Generous actors know that the more they give of themselves to the scene and to their partner, the better the whole project is going to become. And also, being emotionally generous builds trust. In conclusion, connection isn't just an accident. It can always come alive by simply adjusting your approach to the work. It comes from actively listening instead of waiting for your line, responding organically instead of presenting, needing something instead of anticipating, and being emotionally generous and vulnerable. When you shift your focus from your performance to the other person, everything changes. Because at its core, acting isn't about executing a predetermined plan. It's about being surprised, affected, and alive. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Click on the description below for links to our website and to learn more about the new Collective Acting Studio and our private coaching membership. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.